Don't do that, you prick.
What are you doing?
You're such a prick. Okay? No, you deliberately push that to try and push me over. Don't make it look like you didn't do anything. It's all on camera. No, was it hell? Was it hell?
In today's episode, we're outside a local police station where a frustrated sergeant bursts out, intent on forcing Plod to leave. Lacking any legitimate legal basis, the sergeant leans on bluffing and false accusations, hoping pressure alone will work. Plod stands firm, calmly countering every claim with clear legal knowledge that quickly exposes the sergeant's tactic. The situation escalates when the sergeant storms back inside and swings the station door so hard that it slams directly into Plod, an impulsive move that triggers a major lawsuit. Instead of settling quietly, Plod pushes forward and takes the entire matter to court, determined to hold the officer fully accountable.
I have had a complaint from a member of police staff.
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself on me?
Yes, certainly. My name's Sergeant 1789 Pope. I'm the duty sergeant on today. Got no issue with your video. That said, I'd ask you not to video inside there, members of police staff. If your actions cause alarm, harassment, distress to them, you may commit an offence. Okay,
right. Well, just so you know, that is a public area, okay, and I'm well within my rights to be in there and filming.
Okay. Sir, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying if your actions cause alarm, harassment, distress.
Okay.
Members of the you listen.
As an officer, okay,
please
you
listen,
can't
sir,
be alarmed and distressed.
Actually, we can.
No, you cannot. You need to look at case law, and you will actually see that you cannot be alarmed and distressed right in your actual officer's
that's the
duty.
Case law of RV Oram. That's not in relation to what we're doing now. I'm talking about police staff, not police officers.
Okay.
Sir, I'm talking about police staff, not police officers.
The sergeant then tries to reshape the law to suit his argument, warning Plod that recording inside the station might be treated as harassment, alarm, or distress if any police staff feel uncomfortable. It's a flimsy claim from the start, and Plod shuts it down immediately. Officers can't cite that offense simply because they're being filmed while performing official duties. So the sergeant shifts his focus to civilian staff, as if that somehow lowers the legal threshold, but it doesn't. These employees may not be sworn officers, yet they still operate within a policing environment and hold public-facing roles where a higher tolerance for scrutiny is expected. If station staff could declare harassment every time a camera appeared, public oversight of law enforcement would collapse, leaving almost no space for lawful accountability or transparent observation of how police operations unfold.
If the members of staff cause alarm, harassment and distress, I'm telling you now that may be an offence.
I'm allowed to film anything I can see from public.
I'm not saying that you
are. So if I film them and I'm in public, okay, then I'm doing nothing unlawful. Nothing. Okay, correct.
Right, so if you cause alarm, harassment and distress through your actions, okay, then you commit an offence on Section 5 of the Public Order Act.
Section 5? Okay, so have you got a member of the public that's a complainant?
I'm not saying that you've done that yet, and I'm not saying, I'm just advising you. I've got no problem with you videoing here.
Well, have you got a member of the public that's a complainant?
Well, police staff
is not a member of the public. No, they are not. Not when they're actually working.
They are?
Not when they're working, sir. You need to actually justify that. They are police staff and they're in an officer's duty.
When Plod calmly states that recording from a public area is perfectly lawful, the sergeant falls back on a familiar pressure tactic, citing Section 5 of the Public Order Act 1986. He suggests that if anyone feels harassment, alarm, or distress because of the filming, Plod could be committing an offense. It sounds authoritative, but it sidesteps a key requirement of the statute. Section 5 demands behavior that is threatening, abusive, or disorderly, standards that a quietly held camera aimed through an open doorway simply does not meet. What the sergeant is really doing is trying to elevate personal discomfort into criminal wrongdoing, a move courts have repeatedly rejected. Judges have been clear that mild irritation or unease does not qualify. The conduct must genuinely cross into abusive territory. Plod's quiet recording in a public setting doesn't come close to that threshold, and no amount of insistence from the sergeant changes the law. If filming alone triggered Section 5, then journalists, photographers, documentarians, and even everyday tourists could be treated as offenders the moment they pressed record.
So you need to actually rectify that.
So I would ask you, very politely, okay, not to video the staff. If you want to video us, that's fine. You're more than happy to do so.
No, I will video the staff if they're actually in the
if I do get a complaint, so then you may be dealt with under that matter, okay?
Well,
and that's it. That's the end of it.
And just remember, it will be completely unlawful. It will be completely unlawful. Okay, but also, can I just mention to you as well, can you tell me why you didn't actually tell me that you put your body camera on, sir?
Okay. I apologise for that. My body camera's on. Is there a reason why you didn't tell me you were videoing me?
I don't need to. Okay, under your actual code of
Thank you very
ethics.
much for your time,
okay,
sir.
so
Yes, go on. Under my code of ethics.
Under your code of ethics, under section 3.5, okay, you're meant
3.5 what?
3.5 of your code of ethics.
Sir, there's no such thing as
yes, there is.
3.5.
Yes, there is, sir. You
like
need
to
to
quote
actually
it for
look at it. Okay, it actually states that a member of the public must be informed at the first possible moment when you actually turn your body camera on.
When Plod spots the sergeant's body-worn camera quietly rolling, he raises the obvious question: why wasn't he told he was being recorded? It's a reasonable challenge, given that officers are expected to be upfront when they film members of the public. The sergeant fires back with a flimsy retort, asking why Plod didn't announce his own recording. But the distinction couldn't be clearer. Ordinary citizens have no obligation to declare when they're filming, while police officers operate under professional standards that demand transparency. Plod presses the point, reminding him that the College of Policing's Code of Ethics specifically emphasizes openness as a foundational principle. The sergeant tries to claim that no such requirement exists, but that line falls apart instantly. The guidance is explicit: when officers record, they must be honest and forthcoming, because their footage becomes part of official policing activity and may later serve as evidence in legal proceedings.
Okay, now you had ample opportunity in which to actually tell me.
Can you just wait?
Okay,
Stop
and you
talking
did
for a
not.
second.
No,
and let
please
me
don't
explain.
talk to me that way.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to
Do
give you
not
a
talk
card.
to me in that
Sir,
manner.
I'm going to give you a card with my details on so you can make a complaint that I didn't inform
don't
you
worry, I will be.
that I had my body worn video.
I will be. Don't worry about that.
I didn't. I was more concerned with your actions at the time. But
What, my action? What, filming in public?
Well, no, what you're trying to
Filming
do...
in public,
No,
sir.
what you're trying to do is just bait police officers
No,
and other people.
that's a presumption, okay? What
Well,
you got to remember, a presumption,
not,
okay,
but-
that's your own personal presumption, sir.
I'll give you my details.
Okay, your own personal presumption, and your own personal presumption
So
is
I'm not
not
going to
law.
argue with you. I'm just advising you.
Okay,
But if you
yeah,
watch the
but
video in
your
public, you're
presumption
more
is
than
not
welcome.
law.
No, it's not.
Okay, so just
I never
remember
said
that.
it was.
Okay.
So
Don't tell me that I'm trying to bait police officers.
You are?
No, I would have gladly have had a nice conversation with you, sir, if you would have approached me in a different manner.
You were never intending that at all.
Really?
You're doing this specifically
no,
because
sir,
you
you're
want
making
someone to interact
another
with you.
presumption again.
I've come out to speak
How have
to
you made it
because
as
I've
a
had a
sergeant?
complaint.
How have you made it as a sergeant when
There you
you
go.
make so many presumptions? Okay, you've made 3 different presumptions.
This is the moment the sergeant's real mindset steps into the spotlight. Rather than grounding his actions in law or evidence, he falls back on repeated assumptions, insisting that Plod is only present to provoke officers. That kind of claim isn't grounded in fact, it's speculation, and it has no legitimate place in professional policing. A sergeant doesn't get to invent motives when the person in front of them is acting entirely within the law. Plod was filming in a public space, which is lawful on its face, and that should have been the end of the discussion. The duty of a supervisory officer is to apply the law accurately, not to paint someone's intentions with guesswork because it's convenient. By labeling Plod's audit as baiting, the sergeant essentially revealed that he couldn't identify any real offense. With no statute to lean on, he opted instead to undermine the credibility of the man holding the camera, a move that speaks more to the sergeant's frustration than to any breach of the law.
Now, if that was the case, I can make a presumption on you and say, right, you're in uniform, okay? Are you telling me that you're going to murder someone next? Okay? Is that what it is? Okay, so I can make a presumption, okay, on you, okay, and this is only using it as an example. So are you telling me then that you would actually murder someone else, would you, sir? Don't do that, you prick!
What are you doing?
You're such a prick.
I'm trying to come through the
No,
door.
you deliberately push that to try and push me over. Okay, and don't make it look like you weren't.
Please don't shout at me in the inquiry.
I'm not shouting,
Are
sir.
you here for a legitimate reason?
Okay.
Are you here for a legitimate reason?
Well, what I'm here to see, okay, I will
Are
go
you
and
here
see.
for a legitimate reason? Do you
Yes,
need
I
to
am
speak
here
to
for
an
a
officer?
legitimate reason.
Do you
Yes,
need
I
to
am.
speak to someone? Would
Yes.
you like to tell me what that is? And I'll get an officer to
Not
come
you,
speak to you.
it's your actual inspector I would like to see.
Well, he's not here at the moment, but I can give you the details on how you can contact him.
Yep, if you could. Okay, because that was
If you
completely out of
contact-
order.
If you contact 101...
No, I'm not doing it via 101,
well, if you want to speak to
I will
somebody
actually
in
do
the
it in
office,
here.
They'll take the details for you.
And that I will do.
Okay.
Okay, but you are absolutely out of order for what you just done. Don't make it look like you didn't do
Well, no,
anything.
that's on
It's
you,
all
sir.
on
I was
camera.
walking
No,
through
was
it.
it hell? Was it hell?
This is the point where the sergeant truly loses control. As he steps back into the station through the revolving door, Plod walks behind at a normal distance. Instead of continuing inside, the sergeant abruptly halts the door and forces the panel backward with sharp force, striking Plod in the process. This wasn't clumsiness or bad timing, it was irritation boiling over into a physical act. A senior officer using a door to jolt a citizen who is lawfully recording outside the building is about as unprofessional and petty as it gets. When Plod calls him out, the sergeant immediately denies any intent, but the video evidence tells a different story. It's clear to anyone watching that the move was deliberate, a moment of anger disguised as an accident. And that split-second decision quickly turned into a major problem for him. Once the footage became part of a legal claim, there was no credible way to justify what he did. Stay tuned to see exactly how the case concludes.
You absolutely talk out your arse.
Sir, if you keep swearing at me and you keep being abusive, then I will ask you to leave the station. Sir, I'm going to ask you to leave the station if you carry on trying to behave in this manner.
Can you tell me whether or not that is swearing or not? Arse is not swearing.
Yeah, you're shouting at me.
I'm not shouting.
You are.
I'm not shouting.
If you want to make your complaint, there's the inquiry office.
I'm not shouting.
I'm more than happy to do so. If you have no legitimate reason to be here, I will
ask you to leave. I have a legitimate reason. Okay.
What's your legitimate reason?
Well, I'm waiting for you to go, and then I'll go in there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for you to go.
Thank you.
Okay. Because you are absolutely out of order.
Sir, there's no point following me in.
I'm not following you in through that door. I'm not following you in through that door. No, I want you to go, and then I'll carry on with my business.
Okay.
And I've already told you that 3 times. As soon as you go, I will carry on with my business.
You're just being argumentative unnecessarily.
No, you tried to push me over.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. It's all on camera, so don't worry about it.
It's all on camera.
Yep, and I will be getting a copy of those.
I'm sure you will, sir. You have a nice day. Thank you for your time.
Right.
Just a quick thing for you, just to give you a quick update on this, is you've got this sergeant here at Poole Police Station where you'll hear him make a number of different presumptions about myself and so on and so forth, and then we go into the building. He goes through the actual turnstile door in front of me, he pushes it really fast, the door behind me slams into the back of me, and then he tries to act like nothing actually happened. And from their own camera footage, it's actually come out, it was full-on assault is what it actually was, because it was deliberately done. And basically they've offered £1,250, which has been declined. I'm not interested in that, and basically, so we're going to push through and actually hopefully get this type of copper that should not be on our streets in the UK or anywhere else, and hopefully go from there.
In his follow-up video, Plod reveals that the police station's own CCTV captured the moment the sergeant stopped the revolving door and struck him, and the incident was formally categorized as an intentional assault. With that evidence in play, the force attempted to make the issue disappear by offering a quiet £1,250 settlement, but Plod turned it down. He's pursuing the matter in court because, for him, this is about accountability, not a quick payout. If the case proceeds to trial, the compensation could rise significantly, somewhere in the range of £5,000 to £15,000 or more depending on judicial assessment, but the financial outcome isn't the real threat. A court judgment would be public, legally binding, and could trigger internal disciplinary action against the sergeant, potentially leading to demotion or even removal from the service entirely. For a supervisor, that's career-ending territory, all set in motion by a moment of spite that never should have happened. When you revisit the encounter, the pattern of failures is unmistakable. The sergeant tried to intimidate Plod with misused harassment laws, brushed aside the professional ethics he was supposed to uphold, and then resorted to unfounded assumptions about Plod's intentions. At every step, he relied on pressure and opinion rather than evidence or actual legislation. And then came the turning point, the revolving door strike, a petty act that escalated a tense interaction into a documented assault inside a police building. Once that footage existed, the situation was never going to be swept away discreetly. This entire episode underscores the real danger when senior officers abandon their training and allow frustration to dictate their actions. The sergeant didn't just mishandle the encounter, he created the circumstances for his own downfall. From flawed legal claims to physical retaliation, he demonstrated exactly how policing should never be carried out. And because Plod refused to settle quietly, every one of those failures will now be examined in court. That wraps up today's breakdown. If you found this episode insightful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.